Traptendo.
What's going on, guys? DJ Av here. Smash that like button. New DAW in front of us right now. It is Ableton Live 9 Suite Edition. And we are going to get into it. So the first things first, the thing I'm going to teach you about is how to chop up samples in this thing. Much like the Kai MPC 2000 XL. Yes, it is quite possible to do that in Ableton Live. So first off, I'm going to start a new project because there are a few things that I want to teach about this thing, and I hope that you pay attention. Second, I am going to say goodbye to you guys so you can focus more on the screen and not me. And we're going to press tab so we can get the playlist view of this. So from there, here we are. Now we're going to pull up a drum sampler. We're going to drag that into our MIDI real quick, and whoopsies. Here we go. And from there, we have a drum rack on deck. Now we're going to go into our instrument folder here in our instrument categories, and we're going to pull up a sampler. And we're going to take that sampler and drop it into C1 because that is what we need. From here, now you will see all of these different settings and stuff like that. And you'll see pitch oscillation and all that. But first, we want to activate these buttons right here. This power button will pull up the micros, but more familiar, I want to pull up this chain right here. Now we're going to press this IO button, and it will pull up the first initial thing that we're going to do, and that's set up a cutoff. So, you know, when you play a sample, it doesn't overlap with another sample when you press it on your pads or however you're going to do this with your MIDI controller. So I'm going to go ahead and set it to 1 because that's really all what you need anyways. Next, now that we have done that, we're going to go to global. From global, we're going to set the release to a higher release. So that way, when you press on the pad, you won't have to press on that trigger to continue to play that sample. It will play through from how long it's been chopped on that particular sampler button that you press. So we're going to make sure that it is at 60 seconds. And from there, we are hunky-dory. The next thing you want to do is you want to set your velocity and volume. That way that, you know, if your MIDI controller isn't, and per se, I have the MPD 232, I can set it at full level where it will just play at its maximum level of volume. But I also can disengage that and have different velocities. So, you know, you can experiment with different settings as long as you do that. It's cool. The next thing you want to make sure that you do is set up a transpose of some type. That'll be the first thing that you do in terms of setting up your micro. So you're going to go right here from the pitch oscillation window and press, or right click rather, on Windows and map to micro 1. So that'll be your first micro that you set up, and set it to 0 so that it will play the sample itself at its normal pitch. And more on that a little later. So I think I'm almost done. You can, you know, pick out a couple of other things perhaps, just in case you might want to set up something of your filters and resonance and stuff like that. So you might want to play with your frequencies. So you might want to map that to a micro. Just map that to a micro, you know, do whatever there. But, you know, everything else is pretty much fine. And that is basically all you need for now. Just make sure, again, that your sampler is highlighted on C1 on your drum rack. So with that, we're going to press on this little disc here, which will save. Then you're going to name it. I would name it maybe MPC 2K XL. I'll just make sure XL bigger. Then just press enter. And then there's one more last thing that you want to do. You want to keep that and highlight that and drag it to your slicing options. Okay, so now we're going to pull up the sample real quick. I got the sample right here, and I have track here. I pull that back there. So it's a 4-bar loop right now. I have it at 90 BPM. It's quite important that you set your BPM before you slide stuff over, because Ableton Live has a tendency to warp stuff right after it's been dropped into the timeline. So you might get stuff to be too fast or too slow or whatever to your taste. You just want to be cautious of that. So from here, you're going to select Slice to New MIDI Track. From Slice to New MIDI Track, you have Create Slice per options here. From there, you might want to set up from bars. If you set up to bars, obviously you only have 4 chops to mess with. So you want to get the maximum amount of chops here. So 4, 8, since it'll be half notes, it'll be half that. So it'll be 8. So half of, well, more than 8, it will be 16. So you want to use like 1/4 notes here. So just be cautious of that. From there, you know, you're going to select the slicing preset. Remember what I did when I slid over that file to my slicer presets that I have. I've created an MPC 2000 XL. So I'm going to select that right there, and boom. Keep in mind when you're dealing with this preset that I have for you, again, the link will be in the description box. Yeah, to mess with this filter over here, because you might not want to filter everything out. And as you see, you have everything chopped up for you. Simple as that. So one more time, and I'm going to pull myself up here so y'all can see me pressing on this in action. So here we go. So there you go. You have it. Last but not least, make sure that you delete your MIDI notes that dropped in. It will automatically drop in those MIDI notes for you. So make sure you do that. But that's basically about it. That's how you do it. So if you like this video, give it a like. If you have any comments, please leave a comment. I will have more Ableton Live tutorials for you guys. Again, there's a preset that will be in there just in case you didn't want to do it and you just want to go ahead and get right to it. It will be available for you for download on my website. I'm DJ Av. Also links to the drum kit as well. You guys, thank you. We are out of here.
Traptendo.